Always about Donald Trump getting retribution for the humiliation he thought or felt was placed upon him. And so to the same extent that, he had his mugshot. Well, he took his mugshot and turned it into a multi-million-dollar T-shirt.
Well, he also tried to steal an election. That's why he got a mugshot in Georgia in the first place.
Yes, but in his mind,
Donald Trump's latest move to target James Comey is not about justice. It's about spectacle, humiliation, and retribution. Just think about this. An FBI agent was fired simply for refusing to perp walk Comey, a man who had already agreed to surrender peacefully for booking. That arrest scene wasn't necessary, wasn't standard procedure, and wasn't justice. It was designed only for the cameras, a stunt to create a viral moment of shame. That is the real story here, and it says everything about how Trump uses power. From the beginning, Trump has been fixated on punishing people he believes wronged him, and Comey has always been high on that list. In his mind, the mugshot that he turned into a multi-million-dollar T-shirt hustle is proof of his ability to spin humiliation into fuel. So when he demands Comey's perp walk, it isn't about the law. It's about revenge dressed up as law enforcement. This is why the guardrails of democracy matter more than ever. FBI agents do not swear allegiance to a president nor to any individual in power. Their oath is to the Constitution itself. The fact that one was fired for refusing an improper order tells us how fragile those guardrails can be when a leader insists on bending the system for his personal agenda. Today, the target is James Comey. Tomorrow, it could be a journalist, a political rival, or even an ordinary citizen. Once a president discovers he can weaponize the government to stage public punishments, democracy itself is at risk. And this is not happening in isolation. Trump's approach to governing in his second term has shown a pattern of chaos, recklessness, and self-interest. Take healthcare. Polls show that extending Affordable Care Act tax credits is popular across the political spectrum, supported by Democrats, independents, and even a majority of Republicans. Yet Trump and his allies resist this, not because it helps the people, but because it denies the opposition a win. The irony, most of the people who benefit from these subsidies live in states that voted for Trump. In other words, his refusal to act hurts his own voters. The same pattern showed up in counterterrorism funding. Major cuts to New York's security budget, nearly $200 million, were approved under his administration. Trump himself apparently didn't even know. Only after New York's governor called him directly did he reverse course, taking credit as though he had provided new funding. In reality, he was just undoing the damage his own administration had already caused. This is not careful policy work. It is governing by impulse, ignorance, and damage control. And here's the bigger danger. Trump thrives on creating enemies and crises because they feed his political narrative. He sets fires, then pretends to put them out. He manufactures humiliations, then sells them as proof of his strength. Meanwhile, the institutions meant to protect fairness and stability are weakened. Trust in the FBI, in the Justice Department, and in the very idea that no one is above the law takes the hit. Even for those who still dislike Comey's decisions in 2016, this moment should be alarming, because the issue is no longer about one man or one controversy. It's about whether a president can bend the justice system into his personal revenge machine. That's not democracy. That's authoritarianism creeping in under the cover of politics. The firing of that FBI agent is not just a footnote, it's a warning sign. It shows how far Trump is willing to go, not to defend the country, but to defend his own pride. And if left unchecked, this path leads to a government that punishes critics, shields loyalists, and abandons the principles that define a free society. So when we talk about James Comey being targeted, remember this, it's not just about him, it's about what happens when humiliation becomes policy, when chaos becomes strategy, and when revenge becomes the highest law of the land.